Good morning. Oh dear. Good morning.
Try that again.
I'll try that again,
Third time lucky.
but louder. Good morning. Oh, good morning. Welcome to Friday. Might have to put up subtitles today. Welcome to Friday. As always, if you are watching, please do pop a hello in the comments. And I'm very topsy-turvy today. It looks like I'm sliding down a hill. It's pretty much how I feel, so that's fine. very, very sliding that way. Good morning, Christine. I know there's lots of you watching. I can see the numbers. Morning, Sue. Good morning, Heather. Oh, it's just the voice. Too much singing on Monday at the wedding, at the disco. Wore my voice out. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Kerry. Good evening, Sephora. Good morning, Jane. Oh, I've frozen. Oh, I feel like that. It's not warm. Good morning, Maharet. Good morning, Christine. Thank you. Yeah, just too much singing and dancing, I reckon.
Frozen on PC, not on
That's
mobile.
what I reckon. Let's get the phone up, then I can keep an eye on things. No, it says the internet connection is good, so we'll see how we go. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Colin. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Eric. Your blanket's fallen off. Oh no, you'll freeze. There you go. Yeah. Catch up. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Karen. Jane says, forget the coffee, lots of hot lemon and honey. Yes, I have been having. Good evening from Adelaide. Sephora, Eric has fully recovered from last week's double sausage overindulgence. He has. Yes, and note to self. 2 sausages is too much for a little sausage dog. Heather, the DJ did have a great collection, including the suitcase. He's the best DJ in the entire world, and he made the wedding evening. Yeah, he's a superstar. Jay, sounds like you need to borrow a blanket from Eric and have a day off. Forgot.
Oh, that's a giveaway.
Got to turn the phone notifications off too. Oh dear, it's all going pear-shaped today. I've got so much to do, Jay. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Lizzie. You need to gargle with sage tea and honey. No one needs to drink sage tea. It's disgusting. I have been having honey and lemon now. Emma, does anyone else wave at me when I say hello? Hi, Emma. You're not the only crazy one, Emma. We're all a bit weird here, but that's good. It's very good. No one wants to be normal, do they? Good morning, Amanda. Sephora. So how was being mother of the bride? For anyone that doesn't know, our daughter got married on Monday in the fabulous city of Brighton. Very small wedding, just close family and friends in a fabulous hotel. It was an amazing day. It was absolutely brilliant. But yes, lots of dancing and singing in the evening. Lots of dancing and singing in the evening. So my voice is gone. Yeah, feeling a bit from it all now. Yeah, worn out from it all. But it was a fantastic day. Thank you. Corrigan waves as well. Oh, remind me, I'll have to start waving. Maria, do you have the sniffles? Just my throat, Maria, just my throat. And I'm sure it's from singing at the wedding reception. Not actually singing to people, just singing along to the disco in the evening.
Too much Rick Astley, see?
Too much Rick Astley, that's what it was, yeah. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Trudy. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Actually, that's the sort of thinking about a theme for today. Jane says, someone sounds like someone breathed on me. No, it was, I've had this since singing too much. Good morning, Louise. So yes, as our daughter got married on Monday, I thought today's subject ought to be rites of passage. Not just weddings, hand fastings, but all of the rites of passage. There are quite a few, although we don't tend to work with them much, particularly in our Western modern culture. Some religions, some traditions still do some of them, but there's quite a few rites of passage. So how do you feel about rites of passage? Are there any that you particularly work with, or any that you've done or want to do? I have had, Maria says Rick Astley would have been a great PM. We discovered that our very quiet, very unassuming son, 17-year-old son, knows all the words to Rick Astley's song and actually sung on a microphone to them at the wedding reception. It was a shocker. But rites of passage, I have been very honoured to have led some wickenings or naming ceremonies. I think I better have honey and lemon, thank you. One in particular I co-led in the middle of Stonehenge, which was very exciting. We did naming ceremonies for our own children rather than doing christenings. I was christened, it was just the thing that you did when I was younger. Not that I remember it. I think it was just an excuse for a big party, really. The other ones are a menarche, coming of age. Usually around age 13, I guess. We did a little celebration for our daughter when she got her first period. We made a celebration out of it rather than, oh no, you've got the evil, the curse. We actually made a celebration out of it. So that was a bit of a coming of age. Then you have the hand fastings, weddings, hand partings, divorce. Not necessarily, obviously, hopefully not. One of my favourites, which I'm not quite there yet, but I will do it, is a croning. For the gentleman, it would be a sagehood. And then, of course, finished off with crossing over. So there are quite a lot of different rites of passage. Of course, if you were walking the witchcraft path, then you would have an initiation into your witchcraft pathway as well. Rites of passage it's quite a good title, I think, actually, and I guess you could do it for everything, really. Good morning, Xenia. On the way to the UK for Witchfest. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a talk, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a talk.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Oh, that'll be good. Christine, I went to a naming ceremony, been to a maidenhood. Okay. Attended a few hand fastings, including my own son's. Also had a croning ceremony at 60. Brilliant. There are lots of points, aren't there, where we can mark your passage through life, really. I think they're fantastic ideas. Good morning, Jackie. See you in Feltham. Bewitched Botanicals will be at Witchfest Feltham tomorrow. Yeah, I hope my voice improves too, although this is going to be a very short talk. Thank you.
Hello, good night.
Kerry, don't put boiling water on the honey. Temper it with a little cold water first, as it ruins the healing. He's fully trained, Kerry, don't worry. Anne, I wasn't christened but was baptized later in your 20s. I had a baptism as well. I spent 6 years pretty much in my teens at Girls Brigade, and I got quite involved in the Baptist church, and I had a baptism later on. Yes, I did too. Jane, Minaj sounds like a witchy bar mitzvah. It is pretty much, Jane. That's it. Pretty much what it is. Good morning, Leslie. Corrigan, I remember my mum wanting to make a celebration out of my first period, but I thought it was weird. It was having none of it. We got a present. See, if you offer them presents, they'll go for it. I think the important thing, particularly with getting your periods, is to not make it scary, and to make it a bit more of a celebration rather than oh no, it's doom and gloom. It's just personal choice, really, isn't it? Good morning, Charlie. Thank you. Our daughter and new son-in-law are on a honeymoon in Brighton still at the minute. Louise, love the idea of a croning ceremony. I do. I think the croning ceremony is a brilliant idea. I think you have to pick your time when you feel ready. There is no set age for any of these rites of passage. The menage or menage, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I pronounce it menage because it sounds French. I'm sure it isn't, but I think that you do that one when the girl hits her first period. But it could be the age of 13. For a boy, it would be coming of age. I think 13 kind of seems like a good number, but there aren't any rules to any of these. And the same with the croning. There isn't kind of, you don't hit a particular birthday and Shazam, you're a crone. I think it has to feel right for you. So when I'm ready, we'll have a croning ceremony. I think it sounds like good. Maria says just use slides.
As long as there's cake.
As long as there's cake. Any of these, yes. All rites of passage should have cake. Lizzie, I'd very much like to experience a rite of passage for leaving my fertility behind, which was some years ago now. That would be a perfect idea for a rite of passage celebration, definitely. Heather, some others I wonder about are starting school, changing schools, going to college, university, same with jobs. Yeah, they're all important, pivotal points in your life, aren't they? So a rite of passage ceremony would be a good idea for any of those. In fact, we do have a lesson on rites of passage in the Kitchen Witch School. And one of our very lovely students, Paul, who has now sadly passed, bless him, he wrote a fantastic one for his rite of passage lesson, and he did it about starting school, and it was a brilliant ceremony to celebrate kind of a new part in the child's life where they start school. It's a brilliant idea. Christine, I think Peter needs to make you a coffee. He's already put the kettle on, Christine. Colin, I had a civil ceremony which could be classed as a rite of passage. Yes, absolutely, we did. We got married in the registry office, which, yeah, it's a wedding. It's a hand fasting. It is a rite of passage. It is definitely. Maria was christened Orthodox. I suspect a lot of us were christened. Yeah, anything that like the civil partnership, registry of it, and it's all a rite of passage, definitely. Christine, at the puberty celebration, the one I went to was lovely, as lots of ladies, including me, gave useful advice to the young lady. Brilliant. And also a young lad too. It was so lovely, and I'm sure it gave the youngsters more confidence. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a brilliant idea. Definitely. Us oldies have got some advice to give. Teenagers these days probably don't think we have.
I think that's always teenagers.
That's always teenagers, yeah. Leslie, on my first period, I was told that's you, a woman now. Stay away from the boys. It's not wrong. That's good, very wise advice. Xenia, I haven't attended any pagan witch ceremonies. I have no community in Germany. I got christening and confirmation because everyone did it. Yeah, I think a lot of us, I say we're christened not because we follow the Christian faith, but because that's just what happened. Would have loved a menage and would love a croning ceremony. Yeah, definitely. Well, we're on standby, Xenia. And if it was starting your period, I would have been 16. It's interesting, isn't it? I think girls have got younger. Our daughter was 10 when she started hers. I think I was about 13. Can't really remember, but I think I was about that. But I think the ages have got younger. Angela has a book, Magical Rites from the Crystal Well, bit wicker, but guided me well over the years. There are some very good books on rites of passage. Of course, my book, The Art of Ritual, includes some rites of passage as well. Corrigan, love the idea of croning ceremony, currently going through the menopause. Yep, you and me both. 6 years I'm into it now, perimenopause. Like the idea of having a ceremony when I'm on the other side of it. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea. Janet, my grandma and I celebrated my first period together. I think celebration is the key thing there. It's about making it not scary, and not making it the idea that it's a curse, really. Heather, Paul was amazing. Do miss him. He was an absolute shining star, that's for sure. Good morning, Eva. Jane, starting my periods wasn't something to celebrate in my youth. It was 1966 and I was 13. Coincided with my dad tiling and painting the bathroom and toilet, and he took both doors off. Oh no, they were off for days and our loo was downstairs in a sort of crossroads for everyone to see. Cheers, Dad. Just my bathroom was downstairs too, when I was a teenager. Drink, thank you. That's Ben's mug. You'll be in trouble for that.
It's your new one.
It's Ben's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Gifts from one of our lovely friends. And I got you, Angela, don't worry. Sephora, there should be a rite of passage for miscarriage and becoming a parent. What a brilliant idea. So much focus on the child, but the mother's life is in reality changed forever. Oh, absolutely. Both of those things. I have experienced both of those things. Yeah, becoming a parent is a really big change, isn't it? You think you might be as prepared as you can be, but you're not. But the miscarriage too, yes, a rite of passage for that would be a really nice idea, because that's really horrible to go through. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Yeah, I like that idea, Sephora. That would be brilliant. Karen, I think I may have a croning, even though I've been one for a while, as I've discovered a lot about myself the last few weeks. I think any big life changes, life happenings do help us see and learn more about ourselves, don't they? Just any of you, just Karen, you're not alone. Just know that you're not alone. We're here if you need us, my lovely. And got married at Gretna Green. Excellent, excellent. Zenia, I'd loved we had these fancy graduation ceremonies at school and uni with robes. Here you get your certificate and they'll go away. Yeah, we didn't have, I have proms now in secondary school here. We didn't have that. We had a disco. We had an end of school disco. You got your new rah-rah skirt and your new leg warmers. We didn't have anything like that, but our children had proms when they finished secondary school. I think that's an American idea that came across, but I actually like it. I think it's nice to have, in a way, that's a rite of passage, isn't it? That prom idea, that graduation ceremony. Louise, we got married in registry office too on the winter solstice. Oh, beautiful. Really wanted a hand fasting in the woods, but couldn't at that time find anyone to do it. Not sure my husband wouldn't have constantly raised his eyes skywards anyway. We did a fantastic hand fasting actually in Burley in the woods. It was lovely, but horses, because there's wild horses there, kept walking across the circle. It adds to the fun. Colin has done several passing over rituals. Oh yeah, unfortunately I have done a couple now. Not the most pleasant things to do, but a very nice thing to do. I think perhaps as remembrance, but also as closure for people as well. Hannah, not married yet, been with my other half nearly 30 years. Yeah, he and I have been together 30 years, although we've been married for 25 now. Yeah. Oh, Kerry's been going through it about 15 years. The perimenopause is rubbish. Christine, 3 of us had our croning ceremony with Wild Fox. I made circlets for all of us wrinklies, and Wild Fox told us to write 13 things good in our lives and 13 bad things in our life. We celebrated it in candlelight. It was a really magical ceremony. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Corrigan's 4 years in. Yeah, perimenopause I have. Yeah, it must be about 6 years now. Probably more than that. I forget. It's all a blur. Hannah, probably don't do enough to celebrate the rites of passage. I don't think we do. I don't think any of us do, Hannah. It's not just you. I think it is something that we could do more of. Definitely. Angela, I did a menage ceremony with my friend for her daughter a couple of years ago. Perfect. Angela, I was going to do a croning ceremony for myself, but things changed and life got in the way. It has a habit of doing that. It will happen, but the universe was definitely telling me the time was right. Listen to the universe and your intuition, definitely. Chris, I have to confess, I celebrated the end of my periods. Yes, I will when it happens. 54, I'm too old for these kind of shenanigans. It's time for it to finish.
I'll celebrate it too.
Yes, you'll celebrate it too. Hated dealing with them. I don't have a problem with the periods themselves. I touch wood. I've dealt with it all. It's all been fine, apart from a year-long one, which was part of the menopause. But yeah, I will not be sorry to see the back of them. Not to change the subject, but I got your new book tomorrow. Excited. Thank you. Emma, apart from birthdays, weddings and funerals, I never really celebrated much, but I celebrate the small wins, and that is always good. Chris, you sound a bit hoarse. Yes, my throat is giving out on me. Sephora, think there should be something for when both parents have passed and you are now the generation of patriarch and matriarch. Yeah, idea, that'd be good. Lizzie, curious to know about Wild Fox. He is the arch druid of the Dorset Grove, Lizzie. He runs the Dorset Grove. Wild Fox is his magical name. Yeah, I think there are so many different points throughout life where we could have celebrations and we don't. I don't know why we don't. Perhaps it's something that I mean, there are cultures across the globe that do still celebrate these kind of hitting ages. I suppose we do in Western culture really when people hit the age of 18, which I understand, because at 18 in the UK, you can get married, you can drink alcohol, you can drive a car. I think it's 21 in some American states, isn't it? But we also celebrate 21 in the UK as well, or, in Europe, really, I guess. A lot of places do. Why do we celebrate the age of 21? What's so important about that 21? And I have vague recollection of people saying it's when you get the key to the door. What door? I want to know what door, that 21 key. Why do we celebrate 21 as a special age? I have no idea. The 18 I can understand. 21, not sure. We celebrate 30 and we celebrate 40, 50, 60. So I guess we celebrate the sort of 10s after that. I don't know why 21 is so special. If anyone's got an idea, I'd love to know. Jane, a year-long period, and there's me thinking you were pale and interesting when all along you were being coated. Yeah, there was about 5 years ago. I had a period that literally was a continuous period for a year. I had to go in and have a hysteroscopy, but apparently everything was fine. It was just one of those lovely perimenopause things. They fitted the coil and it stopped it all. So sorted, basically, but still, yeah, rubbish. Charlie, love a wedding and hand fasting. I was never christened at primary school. In one assembly, we had to put our hand up if we hadn't been christened. About 6 of us in the whole school. Made me feel odd. Oh, talk about singling you out. That's a bit rubbish. Janet, at 58, learning to laugh at myself more. Yeah, I think definitely with age comes wisdom. Hopefully, not you.
Oh,
No.
I'm going to say, let me know when that kicks in, won't you?
Yeah, I'm definitely a different person now than I was when I was younger. Different person now than I was 10 years ago. I definitely think you mellow a bit. Well, I think you mellow a bit with some stuff, and with other stuff you think, I just can't be bothered with that. Too old for that. Kerry's going to be 50 on the 30th of November. Happy birthday for then. Christine, you get the key to the door. Oh, yes, on the 21st birthday. But what door? Why do you get a key? I will drink, yes. Angela, Peter and I had a tiny registry office too with just witnesses, then drove to the Savernake Forest for a hand fasting with family and friends that lasted the rest of the day and well into the next one. That's good. That's good. Lizzie, key to the family home. That's kind of what the only thing I could come up with. At 21, you perhaps buy your own house, rent your own house. I don't know. Couldn't afford it these days. Hannah, going to secondary school should be a rite of passage. Yeah, I think any changes in school would be a good idea. Louise, isn't 21 the age you used to be able to do things legally? Guessing. It's 18 now. Whether it used to be 21, I don't know. It's 18 now that you can drive and get married and drink in the UK anyway. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Definitely. Yesenia, yeah, in the US, I think some states you have to be 21 to buy alcohol. Deborah is 60 next year. Got me thinking, gather up some ideas for March. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, definitely. Let's celebrate all that we can. I got out of bed today. Yay! Let's have a celebration. Yeah, definitely. Christine, I worked in a stationery shop and we used to sell card keys. Yeah, to parents of kids who managed to survive to 21 after mad years of teenagers. That's what my boss told me. I do remember that a lot of 21 happy 21st birthday have keys on them. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Angela, I'd have to find the info again, but the 21 is something to do with the Masonic occult and the sea. Okay. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll find it and put it in the group. Thank you. Colin, passing out parades in the services. Yes, I've been to one of those as well, or important rite of passage for those who serve. Yes, I went to a passing out parade. Very moving ceremonies, definitely. Deborah, every 7 years our molecular structure completely changes and we are literally another person. Love a bit of science. Do love a bit of science. Goes hand in hand with magic. Emma, door to the rest of your life maybe. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? Hannah, you were old enough to be a key holder to the family home in an old tradition apparently. Well, there you go. We had keys to the front door long before we were 21. In fact, I'd moved out. I had my own house by the age of 21. But that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you. Jane, I've got a birthday where both numbers change coming up. I think it would be a good time for a croning ceremony. But it's probably too late to organise it now and I don't know anyone who can do it. Might just celebrate with a croning night in my witchy room. Jane, if you want us to do an online one for you, we are very, very happy to organise that. That's not a problem at all. We don't need much notice for that. Corrigan, 21 used to be the age you were considered an adult. Obviously, now it's 18. Yeah, that makes sense too, doesn't it? Jane, both my kids had passing out parades, police and the army. I was surprised at how emotional I got. Yeah, I cried when my daughter and my husband came down the aisle on Monday. I did. Colin, you can get married at 16 in Scotland. You can in England, but you have to have your parental consent, apparently, which is why Gretna Green's so famous. First place the English could run to get married over the anvil. It was very famous, Gretna Green, for eloping to get married. Christine, I celebrate every morning when I wake up. Yay, another day bonus. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Dawn, start of adulthood at 21 and the key to independence. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Christine, when I hear the song Greensleeves, always reminds me of my passing out parade. That's why I named our house Greensleeves. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, Senia's off on a plane, leaving on a jet plane.
Don't sing.
I'm not going to sing. No, singing would not be good. That's what got me into this mess in the first place. Yeah, so lots of, I think lots of things we've mentioned. The menage, which is the girl getting her period. We've mentioned croning, which is us ladies, when we hit a certain age, the age that we feel is appropriate. I'm still in my matriarch phase. I'm not ready for croning yet. But there is another side to it as well, coming of age for the young gentleman, and a sagehood for the men as well. So where we would have cronings, gentlemen have sagehoods. I love the idea of that too. I love the idea of being called a sage. Or an elder, perhaps, would work as well. Good morning, Ruth. Yeah, I think it's all brilliant. Oh, yes, lots of people tomorrow going to Witchfest. Looking forward to seeing you all. Christine, I bet you cried at your daughter's. I cried when she came down the altar, when my husband brought her down the aisle, sorry. Should that be a rite of passage when our children get married? Yeah, absolutely. Because it changed, doesn't it? It does change the dynamic. She's now a Mrs. She's actually a Mrs. Patterson because she kept our surname and her new husband changed his surname to ours, which is lovely. Yeah, definitely. Angela, years ago when my sister was a teenager, she eloped to Gretna Green to get married. It's what it's famous for, isn't it? Only to discover they'd stopped doing marriages at the time, or there was pet planning. Sephora, how come the guys got sage and we got crone? I think that's another thing, is reclaiming the word crone. It's been given kind of a bad rap, hasn't it, by Disney and Hollywood and the media. I think we need to reclaim crone and make it more of, it's all about respect, really, isn't it? I think it's more elder. You can use the word elder if you prefer, because that's what it is. When you get to cronehood, you've seen it all, you've done it all. You've got no patience for any shenanigans. You are the wise woman or wise man of your community, your family. Yeah, we need to reclaim the word crone, I think. Karen, I did a small ritual just after my dad passed over, and I think that's a beautiful thing to do, absolutely. Jane, I think the passage I remember most was the day my son joined the army, saw him off at the station and spent the rest of the morning bawling my eyes out. Yes, I think with something like that, where your child goes away, is quite a difficult adjustment. Our daughter moved out pre the pandemic now, 3 years, something like that. It does. It changes the dynamics of the family, definitely. Corrigan the crone, totally embracing the word, absolutely. Janet, you have to be 21 in the US to buy tobacco. Okay. It seems to differ, doesn't it, from country to country. Jane, sage just means wise. Cronehood includes sage among lots of other things. Yeah, absolutely. Maria, since so many programs slating witches so much, keeping the fires burning. Yeah, it's media and Hollywood. They do have this thing about it, don't they? Lizzie, I prefer elder as it's respectful of people with different gender identifications. Elder works as well. Elder works as well. And actually, there's no reason why anyone can't use the term crone or sage. It matters not what gender. You can pick the name you want. You could have I don't know, my brain's gone. a sage queen elder title. You can call yourself whatever you want. Queen Poobah, King Sage, Fluffy Bun or something.
Fluffy
I
Bun.
know. It's going to be a long day. These are just words. They are just labels. You can call yourself whatever you want. You can have a ritual for whatever you want to call yourself as well. It's just a label. Choose your own. Definitely choose your own. Christine, I used to buy cigarettes for my dad at 11 years old. I think I can beat that one. I can remember taking my very small little brother. He must have been only about 3, so my name probably wasn't even that, 2. And I was 5 or 6. And I had a little piece of paper that said 20 silk cut, please, that my mum had written. And we used to walk round to the corner shop. I must still literally have only been about 5 or 6. And we used to get her cigarettes for us. And we'd have a 6pence to buy her sweets, which in those days was worth 2.5p. Jane, my daughter didn't move out all in one go. She said, when all the Friends videos have gone off the shelf, I finished moving out. I was seriously thinking of getting the super glue out. Our daughter loves Friends as well. It's a good program. Very good program.
She's his lobster.
Emma, she is his lobster. Being in my 40s, I feel myself in the autumn phase of life, something I'm yet to work out how to celebrate. Oh, you're not in autumn yet, Emma. You've got ages to go for the autumn. Hang on to the summer. I think it is personal. It's very personal about how you feel about these things. Definitely. Angela, crone was once a positive word for old woman. Crone comes from crown, indicating wisdom emanating from the head. Yeah, I definitely haven't got that yet. There's no wisdom emanating from my head at the moment. But yes, it was. Crone used to be a positive word. We need to bring it back, don't we? Yeah, we got it. Let's be sassy crones with purple hats. I have hats. My son won't go out with me when I'm wearing one of my hats. That's an interesting one, Hannah. What type of things do people do for rites of passage? They follow usually the normal structure of a ritual. If you have a look on the Kitchen Witch Coven blog, I think there are some there. I have some in my Art of Ritual book as well. So the crone one often involves your friends gathering and saying nice things about you. The passing over rites we've done, we have done the same thing where people say memories, share memories about the person. The menage one, the coming of age one, is about sharing wisdom with the girl as well. It works with the structure, usually, of casting a circle, calling in the quarters, often with deity. For my croning, I will call in my matron and patron deities. But it is usually about sharing things as well, particularly the coming of age ones where you share wisdom, and the croning sage ones where you share memories and experiences and friendship stories. And then the passing over is a lot about memories as well. Sometimes as well, we did a little menopause ritual at the Pagan Tribal Gathering this year. That one is in my Curative Magic book, where we worked with past, present and future to bring some positive energy in as well. So there's lots of things that you can do, but I think it's a lot about memories, and I think it's a lot about sharing wisdom, sharing thoughts, sharing advice. But it can be whatever you want it to be. Charlie would have loved a menage ceremony, and I think we need them. I think it acknowledges the change and focuses and shifts the energy, and in some cases with community witnessing and supporting you. Yeah, and I think you've hit it there, particularly on something like the menage. It is community and support, definitely. Sue, I used to buy my dad cigarettes too. Yeah, I did it. We all did it, I think. Angela.
Different world.
Hag comes from hagio, meaning holy. Witch comes from wit, meaning wise. Crones, hags, and witches frequently were leaders, midwives, and healers in their communities. That's where we all started. We were the wise folk of the village. We were the midwives. We were the healers. We were the elders of the community. Think shamanic practitioners, and shamans appear all across the globe. We had shamans in the UK as well originally. They were the leaders of the community. They were the people that everyone went to for advice, for healing, for help and support. So yeah, absolutely. Hannah says there's GOG, grumpy old git. I'm one of those at the moment because I'm editing. Whenever I'm editing a book, I get to be what did you call me? Captain Grumpy. Yeah, definitely Captain Grumpy. If 40s is autumn, some of us are watching this from another dimension. Yeah, hang on to the summer, Emma. I'm in my autumn now and I'm 54. Deborah used to get mum's cigarettes. Players number 6 tipped in a turquoise packet and money for sweets. It's mad, isn't it? Janet would get grandma's cigarettes age 11. It's weird, isn't it? Louise, I love a hat. Is the black pointy one invisible or is it underneath? Yes. Particularly if you've read Discworld, you know that. Emma, Uncle Paul said he's happy being in the old gits phase of life. There are some bonuses to being in the old git phase. And sassy crone sounds a good idea. We can do a sassy crone dance. Yeah, I'm up for that. Corrigan, I'm big on reclaiming the word hag too. Becoming a swamp hag is on my bucket list. I like that. Swamp hag, definitely. Helen, I'm 70 now and had my long hair cut off the other week as it had gone so out of condition. I was surprised how this affected me, and I went through a type of mourning for my old life. Having had every single hairstyle ever, including a mullet and perms and crew cuts and all sorts, and also having had hair that was down to my butt cut off to a pixie cut in one fell swoop. I hear you, Helen. I really do. We do these mad things. And I actually think from personal experience, having had my long hair cut really short in one fell swoop was because something had happened. Something needed to change in my life. And I think that plays quite a key role in having drastic haircuts. But it grows. It regrows. Which is thankful. Christine, other rites of passage were my own initiation to witchcraft. I still have my old ribbon, and also being initiated into covens and groves, all great ceremonies. Yeah, I did my self-dedication 30 years ago, something like that. I did my initiation into my first coven. I still have my cord from that as well. My initiation into the Dorset Grove was done at Stonehenge, being led around the outside of Stonehenge with a bag over my head and my arms bound while all the tourists taking pictures. Yeah, but all very important ceremonies, definitely. And I think we also have to recognise that my own little ceremony, sitting here when I started my pathway into witchcraft on my own, is no less important than that big ceremony one at Stonehenge. They all have important meaning. There are no bigger, smaller, greater, lesser ones. They are all really important. Sephora, when my son lost his first tooth. Oh yes, speaking of rituals, rather than put it under his pillow for the tooth fairy, he sellotaped it to his pillow so that it didn't get lost. It's another rite of passage, isn't it, when they lose their first teeth? Definitely. We do tell our children some strange things, don't we? Jane, 40 Piccadilly plain and 20 silk cut was my regular errand. Yeah, my mum's was always silk cut. 50's the new 40. Yeah, I think 50's the new 30. Let's get it a bit. Thank you, Maria. Ruth, there's a saying, a woman who changes her hair is about to change her life. I think my big hair changes have all been when something's been going on, definitely. Although I have had every colour, black, purple, pink, red, green by
And that's
mistake.
just this month.
Green by mistake. Yeah. Colin, I have had short hair since clones became a trend in the gay community. You may have to explain that to me, Colin, because I don't know what they are. Now a message is just coming on the computer and I can't click anything. That's it. Just had 10 inches cut off my hair, still almost as long as mine. Dyed purple, turquoise and pink. I regret the cut, but it needed it, but not the colour. Sometimes we have to have a haircut. And I did have to have it cut really short once because I'd been bleaching it myself too often and it was just falling out. I have noticed the texture of my hair has changed as I've got older too. Jane, when we get to 72, we convert it to Celsius and be 21 again. I like your thinking. Emma, I remember doing a rebirthing ritual to celebrate coming back into the craft, at the same time celebrating my connection to the Morrigan. Brilliant, brilliant idea. I think within life there are so many opportunities for rites of passage, but within witchcraft we have them as well. I have done, when I found my matron goddess, I did a dedication ceremony to dedicate myself to the Kalach. I haven't done one for Sulish yet. The time's not right yet, but I did the Kalach one several years ago. Yeah, definitely different changes in the way that we walk our paths, our spiritual paths, do warrant themselves to different rites of passage. Leslie, I'm almost 58 and I'm growing my hair now for the first time in my life. Always had really short hair. Pixie cut was my signature style, but I feel really strongly now that it's time for long hair. I want to be that granny that goes to bed with a plait. I'm not a granny yet, thankfully. Still too young. But I do go to bed with my hair in plaits. It stops you from leaning on it in the night.
Dripping.
Lizzie dripping, yes. Colin, YMCA, the guy with the moustache and leather clothes. Danced to YMCA on Monday. I think you have to go with whatever works for you, Colin. You go with whatever you feel comfortable with. Deborah, I'm just about managing to hold on to my long hair, but lost a lot last year with the menopause. Yeah, that's another lovely side of it, is that you do lose a bit of hair. Quite a shock, as I've always had thick hair, going silvery now. Mine is very silvery now. I am beginning to embrace it. Christine, at 68, my hair is still long, but tends to get the Brillo pad texture if I don't condition the heck out of it. Grey hair, we don't get grey hairs. There's no such thing as a grey hair. It's a white hair, and the white hairs tend to be a lot coarser than your usual hair. Now I use baby shampoo and it stopped my hair falling out. Lots of coconut oil. Yeah, coconut oil is good for all sorts of things, isn't it? Sephora, stopped dyeing my hair and went fully grey in my 40s. Think there should be a ritual for that too. The first dye job and the last. yeah. But it's a transition, isn't it? Definitely. It is a pivotal point. Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking more Pippi Longstocking with plaits. Pippi Longstocking is good. Lizzie, wanted to say thank you. These Friday mornings are very informative and allow those of us who live alone to connect to others of similar beliefs. So thank you, and long may you keep doing them. Oh, bless you, Lizzie. I really look forward to Friday mornings. They are one of the highlights of my week. And even if I'm feeling a bit rough, I'll still be here because they do lift my spirits. they started as just talks to get us through lockdown. What they have turned into is a general chit chat, and I love all the interaction from you guys. It wouldn't be the same without you guys doing your interaction. I've learned myself huge amounts of stuff, and hopefully it's been the same for others. I did see a thing yesterday actually on social media where someone said about, now that everything's opened up, people are going back to the in-person events, and there's a lack of online events now, which cuts out quite a lot of people that can't get to open in-person events for whatever reason. We at Kitchen Witch will continue with our online events indefinitely. The online rituals will continue, and for as long as I am able to, I will do these Friday mornings. I might run out of subjects at some point. We might end up repeating subjects. So if anyone's got any questions or subjects you want covered, just give me a shout. But Lizzie, thank you. I'll keep doing them for as long as I am able to, because I love them. I do love doing them. Charlie, women generally live longer now, and women may have been crones in their 40s in the past. Grandmothers in their 30s and 40s. I'm 45 and feel there's a gap between mother and crone. You need to read Pagan Portal's Triple Goddess. I do have to have written a book on it. Oh. You're the same as me, Charlie. I'm a matriarch. There's such a big gap now between the mother and the crone. There needs to be a fourth one in there. I put the matriarch in there. Some people call it the queen. It needs to be maiden, mother, matriarch, crone. There's too big a gap otherwise. So you need I think you need the matriarch phase in there, which is where I'm at. I am still a mother, but my children aren't small. I'll always be a mother, but I am not needed to, change nappies and thankfully all that jazz anymore. But I'm not ready for cronehood yet. So I am in that matriarch stage. It's me. It's time for me now. Definitely. So yeah, embrace the matriarch, Charlie. Christine, I'm growing tinsel in my hair at the moment, wondering when it will turn into wisdom streaks. Yep, I got some of that. And me too, connecting together with us. Hello. I actually am so pleased that this seems to have turned into a community. It's amazing. And my thanks to you guys, because you're the ones that have created that, come together and created that community. Jane, my hair didn't grow for years while I was colouring it. Stopped just before COVID, and now it's back to being long again. Lots fell out in 2020, and now it's the texture baby hair. Time to embrace being a scruff bag. I'm sure you're not, Jane. Oh, Jane, do come and say hello tomorrow. It'd be great to meet you. Janet, I love being, bless you, I do too. Lizzie, I made an oil tincture of rosemary from the garden and mixed 5 drops with some olive oil. Just add them to the top bristles of a plastic brush and then massage them into the scalp. I've noticed the condition of my hair and scalp has improved. Rosemary is excellent for your hair and your scalp. That's a brilliant idea. Thank you, Lizzie. Emma, I'm working and fighting against my agoraphobia to get to a witch festival or the witchy festival one day. I will get there. Just give us a heads up, Emma, and we will look out for you. Hello. Being able to connect with so many people from all over the world is very important. One of the good things that was pushed into being, COVID pushed us more online, and we will continue to do so. Myself, Heather, Ness and Sue from Kitchen Witch, we will continue with all the online things. We also have ideas for some online workshops next year, so keep an eye out for those too. Angela, 61, feel younger than I did 10 years ago. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, when we go through these different phases. Xenia popped in because of flight delay. Ooh, boo. Second, the praise for your Friday mornings and online rituals. Love the chit chat. Your online events are one of the last online paying community events I have left because everything has moved to in-person again. I feel a bit lost again. We will still keep doing them. And if anybody wants us to do anything else online in particular, all you've got to do is ping us. We will do our very best to do it. But we have no intentions whatsoever of stopping any online events. We will continue. Jane, matriarch is the time you need to live life to the full before being a mum all over again to your grandkids. A little bit of time yet. They've only just got married. Lizzie, maybe we should have a rite of passage for those who need it on here. Contact us, people. If you would like an online croning or a rite of passage of some sort, send us a message and we'll see what we can do. Corrigan, I've never had children and the mother archetype feels so wrong for me. I talk about that in the Maiden Mother, in the Triple Goddess book, because I think it is, the word mother has so many connotations to it. We need to move aside from that idea that you have to have had children to be in the mother phase. There's so much more to it, so much more to it. That's a whole other talk. Jane, the scruff bag will say hello. You'll know it's me because of the scruffy hair and the mad socks. Will there be spare tickets for your tour? Maria, message me. Maria, message me. I have a cunning plan. Deborah, these online events are great for me as I live alone and are a great way to socialise. Great they are continuing. You're very welcome. We love them. Love doing them. And for us, it is about being part of the community. Sephora, I know what you mean about matriarch being time for you. Really ready to do stuff for me again after raising sprogs. Yeah, absolutely. Embrace it. Christine, when you have curly hair like mine, I used to cut it really short. It's so lovely having long hairs. I can tie it up or use clips, leave it down. Yeah, options. I get helped with my shopping when I have the scruffy old woman look. I can believe it's the first time a young girl bagged my shopping up for me. Excellent. Deborah, an online spell ritual. We do certain, we will be doing some online workshops for students next year, for students of the school on various things. But I'm very happy to run online group croning rituals or, rites of passage type things. Just message us and we'll see what we could do. Sephora, I think we should do Jane's crone one, and it should involve stripy socks. I think we would all need to wear mad socks for that. It would be a mad sock croning ritual. Angela, I have 8 of your 24 books and I'm hoping my family will fill in some of the gaps for Christmas. We love your family. Charlie, I nearly didn't mention it and ask. I'm glad I did. I'm also not a mother, so I felt I didn't fit in there. Thanks so much. I'm literally ordering your book now and this community rocks. I can do a talk. We're thinking about, you might do some workshops on them next year as well. There is you do not need to have had children to be in the mother phase or to work with the mother phase. It is so much more than that. Definitely so much more than that. You're very welcome, Emma. Colin, online events got through lockdown. Yeah. Well, you moved, and that's why the blanket fell off.
There's your close to finishing.
Heather, mother can mean birthing a business, a book, a hobby, project of any kind, birthing ideas, travel plans. Being a mother means so much too. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Christine loves the idea of online rites of passage. Yeah, see, we've come up with an idea. You guys have come up with an idea. We'll run with it and see what happens. Yeah, definitely contact me if you want us to do that, Jane. We can do that. You don't have to. It's no pressure. But we've got stripy socks at the ready. So I think that's been interesting because I had a list. You'll laugh. This is my notes for the talk today. I literally just wrote down the rites of passage, the main rites of passage. But we've added so much more to that today. So many different times and events that we could actually celebrate. Izzy says, "What's in the tea? Your throat is improved." Yeah, it's honey and lemon. Yes, Heather. Yes, absolutely. As Heather, for those that don't know, Heather is one of the Kitchen Witch team, one of my left-hand ladies. Couldn't be without them. It would be an honor to hold online Rites of Passage. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been interesting. There's so many different points in life that we should be celebrating. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. So if anyone's at Witchfest Feltham tomorrow, I will see you there. Do come up and say hello. I am rubbish with names. And because you guys only appear on my screen as little tiny weeny avatars, do tell me your name, just in case. You're not going tomorrow, no.
December the 4th, Magic Climax.
Yes, December the 4th. If anyone's in the London area, Ness and I are doing a Amulet and Talisman in-person workshop at the College of Psychic Studies. There's also
Sunday the 11th.
Sunday the 11th is a witchcraft workshop in Emsworth, but it is sold out. Thank you so much, everyone. And there is a Yule ritual, an online Yule ritual with a bit of Norse flavour to it. That's in December. I can't remember when. It's on the Kitchen Witch Coven page. Do have a look. Other than that, we will see you back here next Friday. Thank you so much, everyone. And do remember that you're not alone. We are here. We might be on the end of an internet rather than actually in person. But we are here if you need any support.
You're finishing.
You're right there. You're going to come and say goodbye. You're going to come here? No, I can't bother to get out. Take care, everyone, and I will see you. Here we go. Hello. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all next week. When I actually managed to click it off.